Yes, perfect. Yes, finally. I'm not touching this shit anymore after this. They stay all right here. The only reason I had to move it those other times was because I had legit people come over here.
I think I ran over the mic.
Oh,
Is it good?
I mean, yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
Yeah, I ran over it.
Fuck it.
So this episode, guys, it's jinxed. This is our fourth.
Cursed, bro.
It's cursed. It's cursed. But we need to do it. We need to get it over with now. So not get it over with, but it needs to be talked about because this is our fourth time trying to touch this subject. So first time, as I was saying before,
it was before we got mics.
Before we got mics, Elijah's voice somewhat got just canceled out.
It just didn't work.
It didn't work. You can hear it. Second time, my camera died, so it shut off like 30 minutes into the episode, and we're like,
we're just not gonna
F it. We're not gonna go back onto it. Let's just do something else. Put it off for like 3 weeks and said, all right, we need to touch it again. And then certain things within our relationships happened.
Yeah.
Because this is a topic on friendships and relationships occurred, and we're like, we need to do it now.
This needs to happen.
And now my mic just went out.
So
and
we had to redo it again, yeah.
We're redoing it again.
We're in this.
We're in this. We're good.
We're good.
Nothing's happened.
Nothing is. I'm
Camera is on.
We're good.
I think we're in focus, so
Yeah,
hopefully that is something that happens.
Watch, we're gonna be out of focus. It's gonna be all fucked up.
At least you can still hear us. So
yeah,
that's
we
the
can
point.
post this on fucking.
That's the point.
Yeah. Anyway, so relationships and friendships.
So,
That's
as I was saying, the Lake of the Ozarks are packed because of Memorial Day weekend.
People are going
Beaches
out.
are packed. People are going out, so people are starting to mingle more. People are starting to get back with their friends, sparking relationships now, hanging out, going on dates and shit.
Relationships. What are you talking?
Even despite the fact this whole thing is still actually occurring and cases are still increasing. So
Cases aren't increasing. They're
no, they
decreasing.
are.
They're decreasing.
No, they're not. In certain states, they're increasing. Like Arkansas is really big.
Texas, it's going
Texas
down.
is staying pretty stagnant. So is Illinois, but there's a few other states that are still spiking. So
It's a
are people
surge.
dying? I don't know. Okay, I can't.
Fuck all that. Doesn't matter.
I can't touch that subject. But
All right. So, friendships. Let's start with friendships before we kind of go into like the romantic side of it.
okay, I'm in.
All
That's
right.
fine.
So I mean, when you become platonic with somebody, you find a friend, right?
Find a
Think
friend.
about it. I'm serious. You
Yeah.
find somebody like y'all are
You
buddies.
kick it, yeah.
Yeah. Y'all are
Getting
chill.
up with, yeah.
Do you feel? I feel like when I find people, like my circle's pretty tight.
It's
so,
natural.
Like, it's natural, right?
It's not a forced relationship.
No.
So whenever I'm trying to like seek out a friend, or like not seek out a friend, but whenever I just come across somebody that seems to be pretty personable and just real friendly, just in general, you know, there's certain qualities that you're just gonna end up just clicking like this.
Yeah.
Is it forced? No. I mean, like you enjoy certain things, you laugh at the similar stuff, like you play video games. You know, you just have similar hobbies and shit like
Right.
that. So no, it's not like a forced thing. So whenever I end up finding somebody that I click with, like
Yeah.
a friend, you know, it's a natural occurring process. Like I feel like, you know, it's something that you really able to kick off with somebody, and everything is just, it works out. Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's no problems with one another or anything like that. So it's a very natural occurring process, I feel.
I mean, I think when it comes to friends, man, like I'm pretty particular about who I surround myself with, because
Yeah.
I mean, that it's like it's so cliche, but people are always like, yeah, you are who you like surround yourself with, like who you're friends with.
Yeah.
So it's like if I meet somebody and like, you know, vibes, bro, like the vibes are there. Like,
Yeah,
you get
for
the
sure.
Intuition, it's
Like
like
that one guy at the gym.
Yeah, man, that guy, bro. he's
That
just-
guy. Well, we're not gonna get a name.
No,
But there's a particular somebody.
He just
that
gives the he just
you
gives
get
an
you get a
off
feel
vibe.
from people. Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like you
you're
just
just
get
like,
a weird
man.
feel from people. You get I feel off. You know, whatever. But go on.
It's real, man. Like I keep my circle really close and like really tight because like I just like don't like negative energy.
I think it's an important part of how you live your life too.
Yeah, and
because
that's like the key part of like self development, like becoming like your best self is like
Yeah.
it starts with who you surround yourself with.
yeah,
Entirely.
I will say this, that like most of the people that I do surround myself with do tend to have very, very big goals,
Right.
dreams. A lot of positive energy
Yeah,
is emitting from them.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
You have to have that. It's just like the same reasons. Like you get to the point, man. Like you just don't want negative shit. around
Yeah.
you. it just you can't have it.
And you kind of like gravitate towards that.
Yeah,
so
it's
you're
like
able to click real
it's
easily.
like I think what I said in the last episode, and like I truly believe this. Like if I find like somebody around me, if you're somebody you always see me with, or like that I'm just always hanging around with, it's like you find values in them that you value, characteristics that you want to see in yourself, that you want to kind of rub off or pick up from them, same as they feel from you. It's like you're not gonna hang out with somebody who you're always with, and they just like they're not benefiting your life by any means. So it's like, why would you surround yourself with somebody who you don't see any, like, not future with, but like there's just no positivity grading you off them.
There was
that's a key thing.
And to kind of give an example of that, there was a there was a person that I was associated with my girlfriend, and obviously no names, but with this particular person, it was always like, hey, can you do this for me? Hey, can you do this for me? Hey, can you do, just kind of like, almost felt like I was being used in the sense. Funny dude, great guy, I guess means well, but there was particular instances during our relationship that it kind of came to a point where I realized, hey, this person seems like he's using me. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't so much that he wanted to be friends, but during that time we were younger, and I was older. He was younger, I was older. So I was like 21 at the time. I was able to buy alcohol. I was able to, kick it, whatever. He was able to basically drink during that time because of my ability to buy alcohol. Mm-hmm. At the same time, there was a lot of just basic like negative energy and a lack of drive with this person. So this person ended up quitting school. They ended up just working fast food. Just didn't have aspirations, dreams, or desires, or any sort of goal oriented things associated with him. And I became very fond of that, and I slowly started to push this person out of my life because just of the negative things that were occurring with this person. Although it affected my romantic relationship, because they were friends, it was a mutual friend between us. I had to make it clear to my girlfriend that it was something that I just couldn't uphold because there wasn't any sort of positivity from this person at all. I didn't want to surround myself with him because I felt as if he was kind of hindering me or just kind of emitting just negative
bad vibes, man.
Vibes, energy, and
Bad vibes.
I no longer associate with him anymore because of that particular reason. So
yeah, no, I haven't. Like I said, man, I've been like this. I've been like this for like forever, and I didn't really realize it. Like I was at this point till not too long ago. It's just like I've always had a small group. Even like we were in high school, it was like a small select group of us that were pretty tight, pretty like friends. And like you have the people that you kind of associate with because like you have mutual friends or whatever, and like we're cool, but like to an arm's length. I wouldn't like we're not gonna be like boys or anything.
Yeah.
But like I'm real particular about that. I think that's huge, and a lot of people don't do that because they see the false image of like I have all these friends. Look at all these people I have, all these people I know, and it's like, yeah, but fuck all that, dude. Like if you don't even really know these people.
I'll tell you a story about that actually. So another person that I had come across, and I have no idea who this person is, but my buddy who had ended up going to a different state had met this person. And whenever my buddy ended up coming back, he was showing me pictures of this guy. Oh man, this guy was cool. I mean, look at his followers. He has like 20K followers. I mean, he's tall, good looking dude. Posts pictures with all these people, and he's just a personable guy, this and this and that. And the first thing I think of is like, that's like not something that a normal person would do. Like he immediately came off as negative because he was trying to like show that he was like personable with tens of thousands of people. Yeah. I'm like, to me, like if it's not a very natural thing to like associate like with like hundreds of people and then make people think you're very personable. It's forced. It's almost as if it's forced, and it's fake. Because typically most people don't associate with hundreds of people. They have a tight-knit group of people. Yeah. And he was trying to tell me like, oh no way, Merrill. He'll maybe he'll treat you real nice and whatever. But I don't think that most people typically gravitate towards like having hundreds of friends, but more so just like a tight-knit group of people. Yeah, I think that's important to have.
It's important because like at some point, like if you're out pleasing all these different people, you're giving a different face to all these different people. It's like you're not staying true to who you are.
Right.
And if you're not staying true
It's
to who
fake.
you are just to spread this fake message of how cool and like
He did have a lot of money
you are.
too. He was flaunting it.
Money, man, yeah, money. Yo.
Yeah, he was flaunting his wealth for
That's-
sure on social media.
That's the thing, man. Like you just have to like, and I think that's key. Is like if you're who you are, you'll attract like energy. That's
Right.
just
Mhm.
truth. If you're a negative person and you're doing stupid shit, like you're gonna attract negative energy and people that also do stupid shit.
Right.
It's like, you know, but I mean, it is what it is. It's like we have a friend of ours and it kind of just, you know, we don't speak to him much anymore. It kind of sucks, but it's like that's the same concept.
path
that's the
that-
path that happens.
That
But
that
that's kind
person
of more
ended
of
up
a
going to.
romantic. We'll kind of touch on that later on the romantic side of things. But it's like the idea that he used to be in our tight knit group, and then all of a sudden he's just like,
As you grow older, like you start developing more new and better goals for yourself. Some people tend to get stuck behind, and you know that's not for me to judge and say, hey, you know what, that's you know, like you're a fucking loser. But it's more so like, hey, you know what, man, like I'm always trying to progress. I'm always trying to grow, and people are going to either be there for you, and they're either not going to, and it's really up to you to decide whether or not you should continue to hang out with these people to spread positivity on your life, or say, you know what, maybe this person isn't good for you anymore.
yeah. And that, you know what the crazy thing is, that's tough to do, man. A lot of people
Oh,
have
absolutely.
a real big problem doing that because they've been friends for so long, and like you want to go this way, and they're kind of like holding you back.
That's just like a toxic relationship, romantic
It
relationship.
could be, but it's like that's such a hard thing because the
Yeah.
crazy thing is that could come from your family members too, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the idea, like, and everybody. This is kind of the crazy thing because I had some family members going through some shit a while back, and they were just not people you wanted to be around.
Mhm.
Like, and it was tough because like, yo, that's like my immediate family,
Mhm.
and you're like seriously fucking this shit up.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like how do you differentiate, like, this family, not really friendship, but it's the same concept
Mhm.
because it's like how do you cut that separated because you
Mhm.
can't let this person hold you back for that
Yeah.
for everything that's happening.
Yeah.
A lot of people have a hard time doing that.
Yeah.
And it's understandable because
Yeah.
I mean, because even if it wasn't your family, it's a close friend. How do you cut that tie and say, man, I just need to get the fuck away from you?
Mhm.
That's a tough spot to be in, and it's hard for a lot of people to.
You have to
do.
come to a self-realization about who you are and what
Yeah.
what your intentions are.
Absolutely.
And I think that's square one. And I really do think that's like, that should be the forefront of everybody's like intentions, is that you need to understand like who you are as a person,
Mhm.
your self-worth, having self-love. Like at the core of every relationship, whether it's romantic, friendship, any of those things, I think if you're able to come to terms with who you are and find out who you are,
Mhm.
the good people that you intend to have in your life will end up sticking around, and the
Yeah.
bad ones won't. And ultimately, if you're able to come to terms with who you are and what your intentions are, whatnot,
Mhm.
you know, you'll understand that some people need to be, you know,
left behind.
left behind.
I
Not left behind,
That's
but you
true,
know.
but I think like a lot of people that are stuck in life and they're like wondering, like, hey, like they come to that realization, they're like,
Mhm.
where do you need, like, how do I progress? How do I move forward if I'm like stuck here?
Yeah.
The first thing should be like audit your fucking friends, bro.
Yeah.
Audit who your inner circle is,
Right.
and see like, okay, what's going on here? What is he doing? What is this doing? Like it, because like that's the thing, man. Like if you're trying to progress on, like, and you're trying to move and you're trying to go after your goal, start a business,
Mhm.
do whatever you want to do, and you've got friends that are, I hate the term low life.
Yeah.
But
We know what you
there's
mean.
some people that are just like obsessed with.
They're just like stuck in a rut, and they're doing the same thing every single day.
Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
And you're like, hey man, like.
And
I
then
just
back to
wanna-
work on Monday.
And back
Yeah.
to work on Monday. It's like, hey, but I'm gonna sit this one out, do the XYZ on the weekend, and they get upset with you, or they want to hold, or they
Yeah.
shame you for doing that because, well, like, what the fuck, we're supposed to go to the bar, and it's like.
Yeah. It's like,
There's
no,
other
well, I'm
things
putting
in
in
life.
I'm putting
Like, I'm
some
gonna-
in some extra work.
Yeah, and if they clown you for that shit, then
Yeah.
like, you need to audit who you're surrounding yourself
Yeah,
with.
for sure. I also think like I like the idea of referencing it to maybe someone who you work out with. Like
Right.
you're not gonna go and work out and well, I mean you can, but like I like the idea of working out with somebody that is maybe a little bit stronger or a little bit better than I am at lifting weights or doing a certain exercise, because they're always pushing me to want to do better myself.
Yeah.
Because like, hey, you know, I got a little friendship competition I gotta try to match, and it pushes me to become a better person.
Yeah.
So I like to like reference that back into just general life and living a life of fulfillment, because now you got friends that are successful in one area, one friend that's successful in this area, this and that, and those people can build on different things that you may be lacking in.
Yeah.
And so I think having that tight knit group of people who are spreading positivity and are doing good things in their life, that's going to rub off on you. So I think it's super important.
Well, the other thing is like going to the gym. I think that's a big one, because not only are you building physical, I think that's more of a mental thing than anything. It's like, if you're having somebody to like benefit, like going to the gym is such a huge thing. Like that's such a thing that you're building, like mental toughness as well as physical strength and ability, whatever. Cool. Yeah. But it's like, if you go to the gym with somebody, you find somebody that's willing to go through that journey with you, man. Like that's a trait that you should hold. That's a trait that you need to hold close, because like you're not holding yourself accountable to go. Like there's someone else holding you accountable as well. I love
the idea of going to the gym together with somebody that you're close with, because like I feel like that's the bottom of the pyramid. That's like the beginning of things actively becoming better in your life, and it starts with your health. That's for me, and I think that applies for a lot of people as well. But for me personally, like I love the health and fitness aspect. Obviously, that's why I'm a coach. But like I think that's just such the base layer of everything that ends up becoming better. Right. Yeah.
So we kind of hit on the friendship aspect and like who you surround yourself with. So like going into the romantic side of things, which is 10 times more complex.
Absolutely. But, yeah. I mean, there's lots of. It's hard to because it can be a touchy subject.
It can be. Yeah.
And people live their romantic relationships very, very differently. Everybody does.
Every romantic relationship is seen. They're gonna be like, well, you don't know them like I do, but it's like. That's such a cliche thing, but then again, it's so true, because like I know the feeling, I know the idea of it, right? Mm-hmm. So like, okay, let me ask you, like, you're in you've been in a long-term relationship for a while now. Mm-hmm. What is a key component to holding a long relationship with somebody? It's not a long relationship, because you can hold a relationship and be unhappy as fuck. Mm-hmm. How to hold a happy relationship and like a successful one?
I said this before, and it also applies to romantic relationships, but it's loving myself first. Right. And I think my intentions and my love for myself and who I am is the most important part of having a relationship with somebody. Right. I'm not looking for this other person, my girlfriend, to fill particular gaps or voids in my life. Mm-hmm. I'm able to fill in myself first. Yeah. And if I'm able to fulfill those things, and we were talking, and it's really true, because that video brought up, we'll talk about the video, but it brought up a good point where, like if I'm able to love myself at 100%, my significant other has to come and love me even more to be able to make me happy. True, yeah. So now she has to put in the love of like 120, 130% extra love, because I love myself 100%. Yeah. And what were you saying before? Like, if you love yourself at 40%, like, how's it go? It's like...
It's been a while since I've watched that. Like I said, we filmed this video forever ago. When we
but it was along the lines of like, if I only love myself 40% and they only love me 40%, you're not even filling up a sense of love for 100%.
If you don't love yourself fully, let's say you love yourself at 40, right? Mm-hmm. It's like if somebody comes and loves you at like... It's like you love yourself at 50%. Mm-hmm. And someone comes and loves you at 40%. Mm-hmm. It's like that's less than half. Like that's nothing. But you feel so much better because you're not even comfortable with who you are.
Right.
So anybody that's gonna love this person that you don't even know who you fully are yet.
Even a small percentage of it.
Small percentage of who this person is, you're gonna feel like you've just hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
But it's less than 0.5%. It's less than half of
the percentage of how much love you, right?
Yeah. So it's like true love can't be found, honestly, until you fully fell in love with who you are. You know who you are, who you've become. Right. I think that there's certain relationships that people find people that they're just drawn to, and like they grow together.
Right. That's great.
It happens, and that means you can meet when you're 16 and be
flourish
forever.
Yeah.
But like a lot of times that's not the case, because who the fuck I was at 17 years old, 18 years old, is very far from who I am right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think we can even put the two people together.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
And I think like that's such a huge component, and I think something that's, and even for me, man, like the world frowns upon being alone, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're not cool if you're not with somebody.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people kind of flaunt like their relationships on social media and those things.
It's a trendy thing to have, man.
Yeah.
Relationship goal. It's a
relationship goals, buying a house, getting a car,
yeah,
and
man,
there's like flex. It's like this fake reality of like, I'm gonna buy my house together with someone. Like you always see that meme. It's like we just bought our first house together at 21 years of age. No cosigner, no anything,
no
straight
help.
outright. And it's like,
shut the fuck up. But it's like That's a great thing, by all means.
Yeah, I
Sure.
mean, of course, we're not.
But
Yeah,
it's like
kind of a false reality.
People are like
That's just a small percentage of
It's crazy
people.
because those are the same people that have all kinds of fucking issues. They're just
and they have certain expectations that that's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be, and like that's not it by any means. My thing is this, so like, I think like you said, it's so trendy to be like, in a happy relationship that you can post about, like, oh, I'm out doing this with my significant other, oh, we're doing this, we traveled here, we did this,
Yeah.
and it makes like the single person at home feel like,
Fuck,
man,
I'm missing
like, I'm
out.
so fucking lonely. What the fuck am I
Yeah.
doing? But it's like, this is something that I feared, man, low key. Like, I was like, and I had jumped from relationship to relationship to avoid being like by myself, to
Yeah.
avoid like really figuring out who I am and what I want to be and what I want to do. Like, I went from a 3 relationship to hop into another relationship. Then I went back to that girl, and then I like, it was just like one girl to the next to the next to another, just to avoid that thing. And it's like the coronavirus finally made me like have to be alone, bro. It forced me to do. I'm serious. Like, I couldn't go anywhere. You could see somebody, but you don't really want to because you don't know what's happening out there.
But you're basically not forced to have to go and like actively find like someone to
you
be in a
can't.
relationship with.
You can't, man. So I was just like, fuck, I guess you got to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, it made me stop and realize like I am not in any position to be with anybody right now.
Yeah, and that's perfectly okay. And then,
but
that's the start of learning who you are and like finding
because
out
honestly,
who you
man,
are,
like
so.
I don't know who the fuck I am, bro. So like,
that's
how can,
fine.
If I, and I know it, I'm cool with it now to this point where I'm like, all right, like I gotta
You're
figure this shit
accepting
out
of it.
and do all my stuff and chase all these different things that I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Rather than like throwing a relationship on top of that,
Yeah.
something's gonna give, and like that's kind of where balance comes in.
Right.
But like for relationships, man, I feel like if you don't know who you are, how can you expect somebody to love you and you don't even know who you are? You don't even know what you're meant to be, what you're supposed to do. So that's key, man.
Yeah, and I also think people like tend to err on the side of getting married and being with someone in a relationship at a later age, because when you're young, you're still trying to find yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to find yourself and you just rush into like getting married with somebody, it's gonna have problems. What was the percentage again? It was like
I was like 50% of marriages. 50% of marriages end in divorce. Before 33.
before the age of 30.
Yeah.
And that's a high percentage. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of
No,
people.
it wasn't marriage. It was 50% of marriages end in divorce. Period. But I think it was 90% of relationships before the age of 30
End up failing.
Yeah. End. Which
Well,
is
that's
wild.
it was,
Which is
there was
crazy
a
numbers.
lot
Even
of
the marriage
people.
numbers is wild. But I think that marriage is such a. God, it's like.
It's
we had this
romanticized.
It's romanticized, man. It's like, oh my god, it's gonna be this great, wonderful event. It's not seen as what it should be, which
Right.
is like a symbol of like your relationship and like the love you have for each other. It's more of like a. It's like this fucking.
It's like a
event. It's like
trendy
thing.
wedding
Oh my god, we're gonna
ceremony.
This fucking rage, this massive party, and it's gonna be a great time.
Yeah.
For that, and then for the honeymoon, and then fucking and for 4 and then a year.
Well,
or two later.
people look forward to having weddings their entire lives. People grow up dreaming about their wedding day, bro. I mean, and that's fine. And that's okay, but
which
I
is
feel like
fine.
it could have a huge persuasion into trying to get married very, very early.
That I think that that's kind of it's supposed to be the girl's thing. It's supposed to be the happiest day of your life. That's what people are told. That's what women are told. Is the happiest day of your life. And I think that society kind of coerces you into finding that day,
Yeah.
so needing that day fast, right? You don't want to have it when you're too old because then it's not going to be as cool anymore.
Yeah.
Because you're older. You're in your 30s. Oh, it's not cool anymore. You're supposed to
It's
get
like,
married.
finally,
It's
bro, you're
it's like
finally
young.
freaking getting married.
It's like you're young. And
Yeah.
It's like I want to get married when I'm still young and I can have a party and I can travel. And it's like
Yeah.
that's not the fucking point. You can still do all these things.
Yeah.
If you want to travel and do all these things and go and have and spend time with your friends and like then do that. But you don't have to get fucking married to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a wrong thing. And I think society is like, oh, everyone needs to get married fast.
Yeah.
Have somebody, because if you don't, then you're
Right.
not cool. You're not seen as.
And that can also be like persuasion from like family members too. It's just like,
Oh,
damn,
man.
how long?
Especially in our
want a
heritage.
grandchildren.
And
Right?
our
Yeah.
Mexican-
And Hispanic heritage,
Hispanic
sure.
Heritage is
Like you need a grand. Like, where's my grandchildren?
Yeah, dude.
You need to get married.
I'm blessed
like,
that my mom and my family
have not been
understand.
like
They
that.
haven't been like.
Well,
we're-
I think it's mostly, and this is my opinion. I think it's mostly like amongst like females.
Yeah.
It's like, when am I gonna get my granddaughter or my grandchildren? You know
There was
what I
a
mean?
girl that I dated that did that said that shit to me one time.
Wait, what?
There was a girl I dated that did that said her mom was asking about
Yeah,
it.
that's that, and
and
so and those sorts of things can be issues for people sometimes. I mean,
That's
it can be a
crazy,
problem.
But it like how can you impose that pressure on somebody?
Mm-hmm.
And because our parents grew up at a different time where like they didn't go to college, they kind of graduated high school, went to work, and like starting their lives, right?
Yeah.
For us now, it's a little different. It's kind of like sit back and like kind of find out like what the fuck you're gonna do. Go to college,
But I like that approach so much better,
dude, man. It's like I haven't imagined, dude. Like
you have your whole life ahead of you.
I'm not clowning anybody for like them finding their love of their life and like having children.
That's not the point.
Because I have friends that I play ball with that are having kids and stuff like that.
Both of us, man.
Bro, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna eat for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
How can I can't have a child.
You're worried about your kill death ratio on freaking Fortnite.
Man, I'm worried about
Call of Duty.
Got some fucking speakers. I'm gonna blow my apartment windows out later. That's what I was worried about today. The idea of me like
of that thing shipping in and being and
not
being broken.
Like, I can't stop and like realize what it would be like if I was married and had a kid. There's nothing wrong with that, but like
you're just not in a point in your life where
I'm not there yet.
Anywhere
I'm not
near
there yet, man.
your priority.
Like I don't know how it. And I'm not clowning anybody for being there. I'm just like, how can you possibly be there this young, dude?
Yeah.
It's just not. I don't have enough money to sustain a family, and I think that's the number one thing that people don't really look into. They're just like, I'm gonna throw this massive fucking wedding, and I'm gonna have a bunch of kids, and then I'm gonna start my life. They're in such a rush to start this life that they've been like dreaming of. Rather than live the life that they have.
Rather than enjoying the process.
Right, yeah. And it's like you have a life. There's so many things that you haven't experienced yet. But you've been brainwashed by your parents, by society, by TV,
social media,
music, by whatever,
movies, all sorts of stuff.
You need to get married, and you need to find that Prince Charming, and y'all need to get married,
and people romanticize the idea of it being like a fairy tale too. Honestly, like this fairy tale life where they're just like so young. Bro. And they got it perfect, and they got the high school sweetheart, and it's all those all those things have an effect. They do, they really do.
So I was in a long-term relationship not too long ago, and that was the epitome of it. You know, we had so many fucking problems. It was, and I'm not gonna say I was really miserable until I finally like kind of snapped out of it and like woke up towards the end. But like, it just wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't But if you were to ask her friends, or my friends. Or like you asked my family, because my family and like they knew, and her family. I don't know if her family knew, but my family knew that it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows like the fucking Instagram showed it was, or the fucking Facebook pictures, or the fucking trips we took. It didn't seem like it was.
Strawberry
Festival. Seemed like it just you know the pictures, like you saw those pictures, right?
Yeah.
And it looked like we were just this
perfect greatest thing
couple.
On
we were
earth.
so happy. Everything was sunshine and rainbows. Oh my god, he gets me this. Oh my god, we went here. We ate here. Look at our meal together. It's so great.
Y'all dressed super nice. Look like you have money.
Put the phone away on the drive home. We're fucking arguing all the time, and it's always upset. It's just like this whole concept of like it needs to be Prince Charming perfect. It doesn't fucking exist. No relationship is perfect.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So the fact that people are being fed this, especially like kids, man, like younger kids, and I see it in my sister, it's like they want this fairy tale thing, and I'm like, yo, stop. It doesn't fucking exist.
Yeah.
I can go on all day because it fucking triggers me, bro.
Yeah, but it's true.
And it's like even like...
I was even a victim of that feeling as well. Like I always thought that like I was going to end up with this one person my entire life, and like all of these horrible things and like heartbreak and all this sort of shit like woke me up and made me realize like this is real life, man.
Yeah, man. And
you've only have one life. Are you really gonna sit here and rush into it and rush into everything and you know? I was about to say go balls deep, but you know what I mean?
Man.
That's head first into this whole thing immediately, like without giving yourself a chance to even find out who you are.
That's one of the things, man. Like when I was in that relationship and like we were together for a long time, man. Like I was like 4 years, and it was like to the point where she like no, I'm not like we're cool now, whatever. Like to where they were talking about like marriage and like oh we're gonna do this. This is what we're doing, like our wedding day. To the point where I would like wake up. I told you that
in a cold sweat,
like a panic,
freaking out.
I can't breathe, like freaking out. Like I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this. Like I'm not ready. Like I'm just not there, bro. I need like there's so much more that I want to do. I haven't accomplished. Like the minute that you put a ring on it, like this is how I see it. I don't see it as like oh I'm living my best life with my significant other. No, it's like you're signing a contract to say I'm gonna take care of this person. And we're going to have to, you know, whatever goals that we have in life, we need to join together and we're going to, like, build together. That's what that is, right? I'm not in there. I have stuff that I want to do by myself. Like, I wanted to do all this other stuff. And it's like, how can you do that if you're not physically ready yet? If people rush into these things?
I do also think that it's not only just because they want to rush into things, but like the fact that they just don't have money as well. That's a big issue. People get married to conjoin financials.
True.
To build a financial, nest egg for themselves.
Yeah.
So a lot of people rush into getting married because there's benefits
Man.
into getting married, and there's
Yeah.
benefits of being able to save money and conjoin financials together. For real.
I've seen that. That's crazy to bring that up because I've seen that first fucking hand.
Yeah.
I've had somebody tell me that.
Rather
that's why they're with
than
somebody.
start independently themselves, build a name for themselves, and save money for
I
themselves.
remember I was talking to a friend of mine, and I forgot, this was a long time ago. This was probably about a year ago. And I was asking her because she was so upset about something, and she was like upset about her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was long distance or something like that. And she was like, I'm so upset with him. Like, he never does this. He never does, like, just bitch. And I'm like, hey, then, like, just...
Oh,
let it
yeah, I
go.
know what you're
Like,
talking.
just
I know
let
where
it-
you're going. I know where you're
Like,
going.
and I in no way was convinced her because I wanted to be with her.
Yes.
Like, we were just friends, like, straight.
Right.
And I was like, just, like, let it go, man. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're fucking 24. Like, let that shit go.
Yeah.
You're going to nursing school. Like, you're doing a bunch of things. Like, let it go.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, there's no need to hold on to something if you're not fucking happy. Like, you're going after this career, and that career is going to lead you to so many more opportunities. Like, there's so much more that you could possibly do. Just let it go.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, no, because he pays for this, and he pays for that, and he gives me money. And I was like, you're fucked up. I was like, dude, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's a real thing.
So
man.
because this dude, I don't know the guy. I don't know him. So because you're using this man, don't fucking bitch about it then.
Yeah.
If you don't love this guy, you are with him solely because he's going to fund you to go through all your shit that your parents aren't going to pay for.
Yeah.
Like, that is fucked.
Yeah, it is. And people do it all the time, man. People, I mean, it's like the whole, like, thing with, like, having a sugar daddy or, like, a sugar mama, more so sugar daddy. But, like, the idea that, like, you're going to be taken care of. Like, how are you going to take care of my daughter? How are you going to take care of my son? Or, like, it's not more so like my son, but, like, how are you going to take care of my daughter kind of thing.
I think that's
And
more of
it's-
a gender-specific thing. I don't
It
know.
is.
Well,
It is. But, like, I'm saying, like financially speaking, like,
yeah.
it comes to the point where, like, you're getting married and you're having a relationship with somebody because you're going to end up, like, conjoining financials and pay for somebody else to take care of somebody else.
When I was I was in that relationship with that girl, and like we would talk about like that shit. Like, you have to ask my dad permission and all that shit. I'd be like, what the fuck am I gonna tell this man? Hey, let me marry your daughter, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing tomorrow. Like I don't know. I work at fucking Team Express. Let me marry your daughter, man, because I got it together.
Yeah.
Fuck no. I don't have anything together.
And honestly,
Like, that's such a
to be honest with
scary
you,
thought, bro.
to be honest with you, like, that's honestly one of the main reasons why, like, my significant other and I have not even bothered to, like,
Get
think
into
about that.
conversation, because there's just so much more on the table right now.
oh my god, like, I have so many things laid out for myself that I want to do that
As
is
it
not
should,
even,
man.
that is the very, very, very last thing I look at and think of.
Yeah.
And it is not because I don't love this person, but it's because, man, I have so many things that I want to invest in and put effort in and time in. Like, having a wedding is expensive. Going on a honeymoon is expensive.
Yeah.
It's very, very expensive. And when you end up marrying somebody, you have to pretty much, you move in with each other, right?
Yeah.
So you end up getting an apartment or getting a
Well,
house
that-
or whatever,
I think
whatever.
that- but see,
you
like,
gotta
you
start
were
paying
already-
rent.
You were already kind of doing that as was I. So it was kind of like, and I think that's more common in today's society because a lot of kids our age are trying to save money and like they're
Yeah.
always with their significant others. So you might as
Right.
well just move in together,
Right.
Which was frowned upon by our parents.
Right.
Kind of, I'm sure that wasn't exactly how things went back then,
Mhm.
but like now it's kind of more acceptable. I
Right.
would say, right?
Yeah, I would think so. But and that's fine. It's fine, like, if you want to do that. But, like, just the general idea of, like, going through all those things and paying for all those things, like, it's very, very, very expensive.
Shit, it's
And, like, I can't even imagine trying to be married to somebody where I don't even know what I am doing tomorrow or what the plan is for tomorrow,
let alone 6 months.
let alone my entire life with somebody else. That's a big commitment. It's a big commitment, and
it's not
obviously,
it's not a commitment that you wouldn't be willing to make just when
Right.
things are like set in stone.
Yeah,
You have your
for sure.
career, like you figured it out. You're established. Like that's so like my thing is like, and this is kind of where I'm kind of torn. It's like now I'm doing all these different things, and I don't really have time to like to deal with other people. Or like I don't like to go out. I don't like
Yeah.
to go out and do things. Like I have my close people. I have my family. Like I'm cool here. I'm doing a podcast. I'm working on that music shit. I'm writing stuff. I'm reading. So I'm kind of stuck, and I think a lot of people are stuck in that, like, where like work now, and then you'll find love and everything else later. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of stuck in there. Like, I don't really give myself a chance to like kind of go out and like speak with people. I'm pretty much like in here all the time working. Yeah. Like, and I don't know, how do you feel that towards that? Like, should you work now, work, establish yourself, and then eventually?
I think there's a balance you need to find. I think like having a balance of being social and being socially interactive with people, obviously like in reason with this whole thing going on, but but like obviously if like it's okay to talk to people, and I think that's fine. Like, and you know it's cool to date. Like I think like I encourage people to date. You know, like open up like your options and your ability to talk to people. Yeah. And see who you mesh with. You know, I think that's important.
Because you should, you go the Gary V route and be like, work your ass off now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't always necessarily agree with him in the sense that you grind and work 100 hours a week for 10 years doing nothing, not going anywhere. Like that's the part where I don't necessarily agree. Like I feel like, you should have balance because I am able to be more productive if I'm like that. So like if I can take some time to like, close the computer, go hang out with some friends or, someone that I'm dating or whatever, if I was dating somebody, like that's a fine option. That's fine. Like you're happy, you're spending time with somebody, you get to go home, relax a bit, you can hang out with the person and you're able to wake up the next morning and get shit done.
Yeah, man, like I kind of realized that. So like I told you I got back into writing and stuff, and before that I was spending a lot of time doing this, or I was studying and I was doing a whole bunch of other shit. There was no real off time. Right. That's why I kind of established ideas like I need to watch more movies, I need to play more video games, I need to like relax.
You went golfing yesterday.
I went golfing yesterday. Like there's just different things that I do.
Boulevard.
No, that'll never happen. That was a fucking disaster. But yeah, so I asked you the question like what makes a positive relationship. On the flip end, man, the toxic relationships are like, I think there's too many toxic relationships out there that don't realize that they're toxic, man. Like toxic traits are everywhere and you wouldn't even fucking see it.
And here's where it starts. I think it starts with thinking that someone is going to fill a particular void in your life, and you try to uphold them to fill a certain void in your life. And when they don't uphold it or act a certain way that you expect them to, you end up acting like a dick.
Like an asshole.
Seriously. No. But I'm serious. No, I think that's a problem.
I think there's that. I think that there's people that, and this is real fucked up, they find somebody. And you look good.
They try to mold you.
And they're gonna just fucking break you 20 different ways to fit what they want.
Their wants, right?
Yeah, and dude, you saw it.
I've been there too.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck. And like it gets to the point where you look at yourself and you're just like, who the fuck am I? Yeah. What the fuck is this? I legit look at pictures of myself, bro.
And you were a frat star.
I was fucking. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is the guy who wears sweats and shorts every day? The guy who had to make sure I looked good. I had to make sure I looked on point. Shaved every day, hair comb, haircut, fucking perfect shorts. Had to look
Sperry's.
Dude, I remember like everywhere I went, I had to make sure I was on point. Yep. Fuck all that, man. Yeah. I'm in fucking sweats and flip flops every day. Yeah. That's who I am. Yeah. And like that's like the person that I enjoy to be. Yeah. Rather than like this fucking Vineyard Vines model. Yeah. And it's like that happens to a lot of people and they don't even realize it, dude. Yep. Because they want to make this person happy because can't lose this person.
Yeah, and they want to be trendy on social media.
Oh yeah, and it's like, bro, fuck all that, dude. The minute like I did date a couple people after that, and I realized when like shit was just like, yeah, fuck all this, bro. Like,
but how did you ultimately stray away from that? Like how did you realize and what did you do to kind of stray away from that?
Man, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I found somebody else that I generally liked, which I kind of fucked that up too because I was in no place to be in a relationship, but I kind of just hopped into another relationship. Yeah, low key, honestly, and it was like. I was just so sick and tired of being like not manipulated because it wasn't manipulation. It was like
it's almost as if like you're sitting instead of like a.
You're just walking on eggshells, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're just walking on eggshells. Like you feel like
you're just being shoved around and be like different things.
That, and
you're just stuck in the middle.
It's just like you can't. I felt. Remember in the last episode. I felt like you felt like you couldn't grow. It was just like you're here. This is who you're gonna be. You need to find a job. You need to do this. Yeah. And it was like there was just so much that I needed to do that I was just like I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here, man. Legit, it just felt like I needed to like break out. And it was wild because I knew this prior to. I knew this a long time before, and I'll even like joke around with people with like my buddies, that worked at Team Espresso. And I was like, bro, I'm breaking up with her.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna do it. And they were like, nah. And this was months before it actually happened.
Right.
Because I'd been thinking it for so long, and it was just like the idea of me being alone was just like, I don't want to be alone though.
Yeah.
So it's like you can put up with it a little longer. You can put up with it a little bit longer and a little bit longer until like to the point where you just have this explosion of just like, I'm done. When there's no need for it to ever be that way.
Right.
It doesn't ever have to happen.
But that's the thing. Like you needed to find time to figure out who you are.
Like I think about it like this: if I had continued to be with her, and I meant in that. Don't twist my shit. I meant in that.
It's funny the way you say it.
And there's no hate towards her, man. Like obviously we needed to go different directions. Like it's
and
cool.
that's fine. That's cool.
And it's like, had I stayed with her, and like I just know that none of this would have been possible.
Sure. Yeah.
None of it. None of this would have been possible. I wouldn't be here. I'd probably be somewhere fucking else.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't.
You have to come to a self-realization.
Yeah,
someday.
and like I stop, and like so anytime I like kind of like think about it, I'm just like, man, I'm happy like with what is happening right here, right now.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, and I think a lot of people would rather. Like, back to what I was saying before that, it was like people would rather just stay with that person because they don't want to be alone. It'll change. They'll change.
Honestly, it's also a part of like thinking that you can't receive anything better in return. Like you feel like you're just like, there's no way I can find another person.
No one will like put up with me like this.
Yeah, no one's gonna put up with me and this and this and that. And
that's wild to think, man. But that comes from self-love, bro. If you don't love yourself,
that's where I was trying to get at. It comes full circle, man. Because that's where it starts. That's literally your whole situation. Everybody's situation with not even figuring out that they can find somebody else better or whatever. Like that comes from the fact that you don't love yourself. You don't know who you are. You don't know your intentions, and you just don't know what what's in your heart and what you want. And that's a problem. That affects everything else.
Yeah, so it's like if you love yourself 50%, this person also loves you at 50%. But like, it goes the same thing. It's like, how can you know? Like, you don't even know yourself. How can you expect this? Like, this person's loving you the same amount that you love yourself. Yeah, it's gonna seem like amazing, but eventually that wears out, bro.
For sure.
Eventually that wears out.
Yeah.
It's like, and
it's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, man. But like, you have to take the time to find who you are. And like,
but I also do think that those things you experience like with your past relationships, there's not necessarily like, I don't think of those being negative, but they helped filtered you and helped mold you into learning about yourself.
It opened my eyes, man. So
and it opened your eyes.
It's like I'm slowly evolving into the person I want to become, and I'm happy with the progress I've
But
made.
if it wasn't for that situation, maybe that wouldn't have happened.
No, man. So like now I've gone into different relationships, and I've begun to see like, okay, I don't want this because I know my goals and what I have in sight, and this just isn't gonna work. Or like I see this trait in you, I don't really care for it. This isn't gonna work. And rather than like just settling for it, you're just like, this isn't gonna work. This isn't like you're just on a set path, man. And like people will come in and out. I mean, that's just how life works. So it's
I think that's fine.
You'll find it as it comes. Like, and if you're like scared to be alone, bro, like it's just gonna you have to face that. You have to look at yourself in the mirror.
Yep.
And say, I gotta figure this shit out. Because if you don't, then you're just gonna keep wreaking havoc on everybody in your path.
And then start closing doors towards things on like social media. Stop worrying about like other people on social media and their relationships or anything like that. Like I have a true feeling that like everything's gonna happen for a reason. If people are stuck and if people feel alone, I truly believe that someone will pop into your life and ultimately guide you to.
Yeah, I firmly believe, bro, that people are in your life for a reason, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You cross paths with people.
Yeah. I'm
not super spiritual or anything, but that's just like everything. Like I truly believe everything happens for a reason, man. Like
so
cross through your shit.
To try to get to that point, like, and we'll try to close it off here because we're running out of time. But how do you feel about digital relationships like Tinder, Bumble, and those sorts of social media?
I don't frown upon it, man, because some good things spawn from those.
Well, one of the other family members that I know, they got married and they found each other on Tinder.
Really?
Yeah.
Matt Diavella found his girlfriend on Tinder.
Oh yeah, he did.
That's
too.
what I'm saying. Like, man, sometimes it's just a stroke of
luck.
luck.
I think it's just like, does it hurt to try it? No, not at all. Like, I think it's a great option to go and do that. But
it's just not me to do that, man. Like,
it's people do different things. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
for me, like, it was more natural.
I'd rather it be like that. I'd rather get to know who you are first, rather than like swipe based on your looks, bro.
We're also in that point of like our era of technology,
Sure,
where
man.
like these
Things
are
times
viable
changing.
options.
Absolutely.
So
I don't know how. I can't give you an answer because I don't really. Now
maybe you should try it, and then we'll provide an update a year later.
No. Not a chance.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. All right, Elijah's 1 year Tinder extravaganza.
Extravaganza. That's not gonna happen. No. Never in a million years.
Well,
Will I be on?
guess you never know,
Tinder?
coach. You never know, coach.
Hell no. No, definitely not. But yeah, I don't know. I think that times are definitely changing, but that ain't for me, coach.
I think in conclusion,
Well, before you conclude, I think a good part of your like people's relationships, kind of like just close this off because a lot of people do this. Relationships, right? It needs to be, y'all are two different people. I think centering your life around somebody or another person is not healthy.
Not gonna work.
It's not gonna work, and I've seen it happen too many times where
it's selfish, bro.
It's selfish that if you're a person and somebody's building their life around you, you need to tell them, hey, bro, you're an individual yourself. Go live your own life.
Yeah.
And I think that I've seen it too many times, and what we're kind of witnessing happen to a buddy of ours right now. It's like that's all there is just that person. It's like so when we've seen that world crush down
It gets
for a little
old.
bit,
It gets old.
We've seen what happens when that shit kind of crumbles a little bit. Of course, and he just runs back. But it's like when it crumbles, you just lose your shit.
Yeah.
It's like what's left, and I've seen it happen to myself. I've seen it happen to people close to me. It's like you have to realize that y'all are two different people growing in two different directions, and you cannot base your life around somebody. Like you need to have space, you need to have off time. You need to realize that y'all are two different individuals. I think that's a huge concept that people need to grasp.
Yeah.
And because let's just say that person leaves. What have you left on the table? What have you left behind? Like.
I think someone who put it really, really well is Will Smith, and I was looking it up right here.
Will Smith?
Will Smith, with his wife, he basically explained saying like I am my own person, she is her own person, and we have our own individual love, and that individual love sparks into a love they are able to combine with each other, and a happiness they combine with each other, rather than 90% love from this angle or 90% this love, like, but it's 100%, and their love together is another 100%.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the best way to like,
boom. That's what you need.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best way to describe it.
And you're always continuously growing. I know I've said this before. It's like y'all are both growing into different people, and like it's time that you're gonna grow this way. You're gonna grow this way, and it's like y'all need to commit to the point where y'all are gonna.
Do you think there is such a thing as being too picky though?
Too picky?
Yeah.
In regards to what?
In regards of like settling.
Are you calling me out?
No, I'm not. I'm saying like too picky. I'm saying. But I'm like I've been that way too. I thought I was way too picky, but I mean like if you're trying to like you say like, oh, don't settle for somebody, but is there a point where it gets too much, do you think?
I don't think so, man, because I think that you may be picky enough, but the right person will come around and you'll say,
and you'll know,
I love this person for XYZ, and I take the imperfections that come with that X, Y, and Z. I think
and that kind of fits
if
differently
for
different people.
If you're gonna nitpick and not want to be with somebody, bro, you just don't want to be with somebody. Don't fucking make the excuse, because if you fully unconditionally love somebody else, you'll take the good with the bad.
You're right.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Hopefully the good outweighs the bad, but everyone's going to have their imperfections.
Yeah.
So if you love somebody, you'll take it. It's not really settling. You're just knowing that everyone's perfect in their own way, but everyone's got fucking imperfections.
Yeah. So. And I also think that other people like are on different timelines for things. So that's not to say like, oh, you know what, I'm not fucking ready to get married, but you know what, some people just are. And people are on different timelines. And
it reminds me of like Michael Scott.
And no, but it's true. Like people are just on different timelines, man, and that's totally okay. But you know, for the majority people that are young and are facing that kind of,
Just not in that space yet, man.
Yeah, typically most young people are just not in that space, and you shouldn't be forced to do things that you don't want to do. But if on the flip side, you are just part of the small percentage where you are ready, that's perfectly okay. And we're saying that it's okay, and people are just on different timelines, so
yeah, man,
we're accepting of that.
You know, it's like to each your own, bro.
Yeah, to each your own.
Everyone's out in this shit individually.
You can be Michael Scott, or you can just, I don't know.
Michael Scott, bro. So when you said this person might be ready to get married tomorrow, and this person's not, everybody's with, he's always like ready to fucking marry.
I know.
Immediately. Oh man. Oh. Anyway.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and leave it there. Hopefully this episode is good to go, not cursed.
Yeah, hopefully
not
there's
anything.
no issues.
If you have anything to say, anything about your relationship you want to
What works for you, what you've seen that doesn't work, man. Throw it out
Yeah.
there.
If you're a girl out there and you want to be with Elijah,
No one wants to be with me, man.
just tell him he's
Not
ugly.
like that.
Just tell him he's ugly, and
Just tell me I'm ugly. You know how it is.
yeah.
You know how I be.
Give us a follow, like, subscribe on YouTube. We post Mondays, Fridays.
Monday and Fridays now.
No longer Tuesdays, Thursdays, but Monday, Fridays.
Yeah.
So this one will come out on a Monday.
Monday.
Of next
Start
week.
your Monday
so,
off.
about relationships. Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.